What's up, guys? Welcome back to the RMR Podcast, episode 14. I'm Mitch Pfeiffer.
J Ping, what up?
How is everyone doing out there tonight? How are you doing, my
Another
guy?
episode. We're back. Bro, it's Wednesday. We're 10 minutes late. What's good?
Man, I am just chilling, taking care of the family, about to knock this out and then, get to business on the late night grind.
Dude,
man.
what is it like living in Everett, motherfucking Washington? Let's
Hey,
just jump straight to the nitty-gritty, please. Tell me what it's like living in the Funko capital of the world.
Hey, appreciate you for recognizing that. It's crazy moving. I've only lived out here a little bit, but it had a bad rep, hanging around the Seattle area. Everett does not come with high recommendations or, people say Everett with like a stank in their tone whenever you bring
that face you just made when you said Everett?
That's what I mean. I contributed that before I even really spent time out here. That's what I thought, just because everyone else did. And then I moved out into like a super suburban cul-de-sac, white picket fence, and bro, I love Everett, man. I'm out here. I've only been out here like a year and a half. I'm about to rep this shit, man. Everett.
Well, shout out where we're from, man. Shout out where you live. Shout out where we're from. Shout out all the places we've been, man. Kent, Everett, Renton, Ellensburg, man. We've been all around the block. For people that are watching this, man, RMR's been around 10 years. 10 years. We're at 10 and a half right now, approaching 11. We finally got our podcast going. So for everybody watching, we really appreciate you guys tapping in. We try to do this weekly. Sundays with me and Isaiah, Wednesdays with Mitch and I. And this coming up, the North American Weed Tour launching, Mitch, we got 80 podcast episodes coming up, August through December. So I hope everybody's ready because
it's gonna be crazy. Joey is the king. Joey is the king of taking a campaign and making it super long and in-depth.
Making it impossible.
But it makes it exciting. We're gonna have a lot of cool guests from all over the country coming up. That was the last thing I wanted to touch on, but I mean we can get into it now. I mean, well, no.
We'll stay according to your plan. I just wanted to tap in, show some love. We get 10 years, bro. We've been at it. Podcast finally. I'm sitting here drinking a weed infused seltzer right now. Look at this shit.
I'm jealous.
This is where we're at.
I'm jealous. Yeah, 10 years. A lot of couches, a lot of cities, a lot of hotel rooms, a lot of Airbnbs, man. It's
oh my gosh,
emotional to have. So with that being said, what are you eating on? What are you smoking on? What you got?
So I'm drinking on this seltzer, 10 milligram THC. It's from a company called Tonic, mixed berry, nano THC. For those of you that don't know, nano THC means these nano molecules, these nano emulsifications, which basically when you're swishing things around in your mouth, like weed or, other kinds of like adaptogenic drinks and stuff like that, the beverage needs to be nano emulsified in a way that it's going to allow you to just really intake the stuff way better. So the seltzer, nano emulsified, mixed berry, and then I got these peanut butter cups. Check this out. These are the best peanut butter cups in California that have weed in them.
What brand is it?
This is a brand called Emerald Sky. These are the hybrid milk chocolate little guys. Look at this. They are so fire. They've got a little bit of sugary salt on the outside. The peanut butter is overflowing. Look at this.
Oh, yeah, that looks fire.
Yeah.
I love peanut butter cups, but like I also grew up such a fan of Reese's. Like if a peanut butter cup's like varies too much from the Reese's taste, sometimes it's a miss for me. So how does it taste compared to the Reese's?
If you were blind testing it and I had just chopped this up and broken it down and you were eating it, you wouldn't tell the difference.
Okay.
I'm honestly eating 3 or 4 of these a day right now, and I shouldn't be.
What's up? We got Coaster checking in. What's good? My boy from the 509. We got Dave, Mr. Oil Tycoon, I believe, tapping in from OKC or somewhere in Oklahoma.
What up, Dave? What's good, Coaster? Man, we out here. Y'all out here. We got Yakima. We got Oklahoma in the building.
Yeah, I'm taking a dab, bro. I got some Bodhi High. It is a little bit old, so I'm not trying to show it, but the terps on this are still so crazy. So, we haven't worked with Bodhi High in a while, but bro, every time I come back to this little, I mean, it was more than a gram, but every time I come back to it, I'm just like, damn, bro, they're really killing the terps, man. Like this shit,
They're still killing the terps, huh?
I love this. Like this shit is not new, and it smells better than some of the new stuff I have.
I want to pull out one of these nugs that I'm smoking on here. I got some Cure Company. Look at that. She's a beaut, man. Nice and dense, great nose.
I got this, some I don't even want to say the brand because it's not released yet, but I got some of this Gelato 41 that is.
Damn. Why'd you have to flex on me like that in front of everybody?
It smells like baked goods, man. Like, oh my God, I haven't even smoked this weed, but I've smelled it like 5
You gotta smoke that on camera, bro. Come on, bro. If I can't smoke the gelato, I need to see you smoke it.
All right.
We got an unscripted episode, everybody. We're freestyling it. We're gonna have a guest. The guest will still come on at another time. But for tonight, Mitch and I are gonna just be reviewing weed, talking a little bit about some music and some business and some current industry news that's going on in the world of cannabis. I'm gonna roll up a joint, or actually, I'm gonna stuff a cone. I've got Respect My Region. We just formed a relationship with the good people over at OMS Papers. I think that's the name of the brand. OMS Papers. They're pure hemp papers. These are king cones. I met them at South by Southwest 2 years ago. So super dope. You pull it out, and it's got this little branded tip, and then you've got this right here.
Tastes just like it smells. It tastes like I'm eating baked goods, man, with a little bit of gas and
Can you describe that weed as something else other than baked goods, or you just got it on the mind?
I don't know. Yeah, it just smells like it's a little bit gassy. It's not as gassy as like some of other gelatos, but it has like a real like yeah, I keep going back to it, but like a baked good, like a physical, like not even a cookie, like a cookie loaf, like one of those brownie bricks almost. Like,
oh, okay.
It's kind of like yeah, I don't know. It just smells like you go into a bakery and they're cooking sweets, but then someone poured a little bit of diesel in the corner or something.
And like there's there's bits of real Panther included in it.
You know what I'm saying? Some Sex Panther.
Yeah. Yeah, you feel me?
That's some heat. I hope I'll do an official review once they drop it. I just don't want to shout them out before it's out.
It's that exclusive.
Yeah. And so, any brands out there, if you need a taste tester, Joey,
I'm here. I'm available.
Happen to quite literally be professionals. So we'll give you the feedback, the good, the bad.
Yeah. I'm not afraid of telling you the mid taste, the mid. I'm not afraid of telling people that your weed is mids or that it's hay, because that's a multi-million-dollar decision. You got to think, if you're going to put some grassy weed into the market, some hay, something where the terps reverse engineered themselves to be backwards and some shit, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot, and it's going to hurt your brand even longer. People got to be not afraid to say no in some of these meetings about the products. Yeah. I can't tell you how many gummies I've eaten that are bad.
Right. That are just bad. Enjoyable. You're not ever going to buy it again after feeling
never going to support that brand again, because I think that the rest of their products are now bad.
Right.
So you've really got to think about every single decision with your right foot, the right foot being put forward. And this is also something, it's a lesson that music artists should heed, entrepreneurs should heed, cannabis people, whatever it is, because I say this all the time, you're only as good as your last post. It's a what have you done for me lately world. If you haven't done anything on social, people are worried about you, that you've fallen off, or that you're not okay, right? It's automatically assumed that this is that culture, this is that community, Mm-hmm. So you've got to constantly be doing things and putting that right foot forward, doing the right small little social things, doing the right curation of weed. If you're white labeling weed, you got to make sure every batch you buy is perfect. The farm that you work with is immaculate across the board, consistency. Mm-hmm. There's just so many types of risk that you just gotta try to shrink that down.
Yeah, definitely got to mitigate those risks for sure. So first on the agenda, man, this last week we heard that Drake, well, not just Drake, but Drake's cannabis company, More Life, and Canopy Growth, the behemoth Canadian cannabis conglomerate, have parted ways. And it's something you informed me before this podcast that we had predicted, I think 2 years ago when the news broke that More Life was associating themselves with Canopy Growth.
Yeah, so Colin and I 2 years ago put together this piece about Canopy Growth and Drake. We did a piece before that, I believe, about Jakua and Lil Wayne. It goes without saying that just because rappers rap about the lifestyles that they're talking about, it doesn't mean that they're real. The facts are here that Drake, we've never seen photos of him smoking weed. He's never sat here and rapped bars about any strains. There's never been any mentions of products. And then when it comes to this partnership, we never saw any press about products coming to market, hitting the stores in Canada. We never saw anything about a specific item being coming to market or any kinds of details. And, obviously back then, what we were saying was that because we hadn't seen him talk about anything, we hadn't seen him rap about anything, there wasn't any photos, there weren't any weed culture elements. It was just Drake in the rapper world having the only cannabis tie just by appropriation, right? And stereotyping, right? The rapper's weed stereotype, right? And all those things led us to think that it was not going to work out, that it was never going to really come to life, and that it was definitely going to end up not just failing at the end of the day, which it did. They clearly split up for whatever the reason was.
I don't even know if they released product.
Yeah, like I said, we went and did the research. We tried to look. We tried to follow up and look, and we still haven't seen any products. Maybe they did. Maybe they're on there, and because we're in the States, and maybe no press coverage happened because of Canadian regulations. But I know this: if Drake's product had ever hit the shelves, I would have seen it on LinkedIn. We would have seen it. We would have heard it. Something would have happened by now, for sure.
Right. So, and you look, Drake is 2 years ago is early for a mega current celebrity to enter cannabis, and you partner with someone like Canopy Growth that is really only known because of how much money they've raised. They're not known for what they've done in any sense of the realm other than money.
No, they're no more money and what they've done, which is burn through money. Because if you're on LinkedIn, the what they talk about Canopy Growth is not positive. And we don't jump the gun and come in and burn that and torch them at the stake as well. But it is factual that they raised a lot of money. They did it often, and people left the company, took a lot of that money, and they continue to burn through it at just insane rates without making a lot of money back.
Yeah.
So if Drake was involved with that and that had happened to him, he'd be meme culture every day. People could make fun of Drake every day for something like that.
They could have given him stock. They could have announced that he partnered with it. Stock price rose, and he, cashed in a little bit. Who knows what his prerogative was?
Who knows what the details are?
It is interesting that his producer 40, he's been a partner in a craft company. I don't know how small or how craft they call it, but called Bull Rider, that's been out for a while, and that has gotten really good reviews. But 40 is also, like, to what you were saying earlier, 40 always has a joint in his mouth. He has MS, so he's a medical patient. So he's very much on the forefront for medical.
He's advocating in his own right just by having a brand.
And so it's a lot different when you look at those two celebrities, and it's an issue we have with celebrity weed brands in general. Of just
an issue a lot of people have. I don't have a lot of issues with celebrity weed brands.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, but I'd say a fair criticism is a lot of celebrities sell their likelihood to somebody that doesn't carry the ball into the end zone,
Yeah, that's true. There's definitely not a lot of good cannabis brands that are in that celebrity space that are doing extremely well. The exception would be Wonder Brett, who has the Russ collaboration, but it's so early in that we can't tell yet.
And so next topic that we had down tonight was Delta 8. We touched on this a little bit, I believe, on a past episode. It's not news if you follow cannabis or, smoke shops or alternative substance culture. I don't know exactly what you'd call that, CBD, hemp. But Delta 8 is a synthetic derivative that can be made from hemp. So plants that aren't grown for THC, but are grown for CBD through hemp. Can be synthetically altered to isolate a cannabinoid Delta 8. And Delta 9 is THC, what we're known for getting high. So Delta 8 is very close to that. It's one off. But it can be altered and created, whether it's Delta 8 flower, Delta 8 carts, or Delta 8 edibles, that creates an actual high, where CBD is not much of a high. Delta 8 creates an actual high. It is something that through the Farm Bill, because it's derived from hemp and not THC, it's been legal to sell online and legal to sell in gas stations, at smoke shops, and most importantly, it's been legal in like the South and states where cannabis is not legalized so far. So
THC, synthetic THC from a hemp CBD product, right? So people took hemp CBD, they took it into labs and they converted it over to a Delta 8 THC. They literally changed a molecule in these products to turn it into a Delta 8 THC. And that little bit of a high, that little THC bit, gets people high in states where weed is not accessible at this level. Indoor grown cannabis, high THC cookies, high THC viola, the Bay Area stuff, the archive genetics, the moon bows, the Diego weeds in Colorado. You don't get those in Arkansas. You don't get that kind of quality in the swamps where the environment is not really great for cultivating those kinds of products. So Delta 8 THC is making a lot of money in a lot of states where there is no legal weed or there is very limited access.
And they actually have seen, and I know you and I have both talked to them, there's actually been dispensaries that pop up in these states where cannabis isn't legal, and they only sell hemp.
And they only sell hemp products, correct?
Whether it's CBD or Delta 8, and Delta 8's been getting marketed as a legal cannabis, get high legally. I was kind of skeptical. I didn't really know, but I actually tried it. I don't know. You've tried Delta 8, right?
These are Delta 8 infused pre-rolls.
That's flower right there.
No, this is Delta 8 infused pre-rolls.
Huh.
Yeah. Delta 8 infused hemp CBD flower coated with premium Delta 8 oil, rolled and covered in CBD kief. Delta CBD flower times Delta 8 oil.
Oh,
it's like a moon rock. It's like a Jeter. It's like a moon rock.
Okay.
The CBD moon rock combined with CBD moon rock rolled in a joint, coated. The joint is coated in Delta 8 oil, and then it's rolled and covered in CBD kief.
And the way for people out there, the way that the law is written, or the way that the Farm Bill changed things to legalize hemp and smokable hemp, and CBD derived from hemp on a national level, Delta 8 follows those guidelines, but creates a synthetic product that creates a high. It's been a very hot topic. Moved a lot of units, sold a lot of volume over the last year and a half. Has been a hot topic, and is now became a topic. I've seen it talked about in the Washington market, where apparently some farm was selling Delta 8 products on the market because they can produce that at a lower cost than THC, and they weren't disclosing that it was synthetic. I'm not sure what it is. I don't necessarily have any problem with Delta 8 being sold, but you need to disclose what it is, especially if something's synthetic. I think that's something that needs to be disclosed. I tried some Delta 8 gummies, and it was interesting. It definitely got me high. It's not quite like a weed high, or your traditional cannabis high, but it is very, very similar. I got the munchies. I felt, relaxed, a little bit of euphoria. It was definitely interesting. I felt like I had a low dose of cannabis edibles.
So Delta 8 didn't do anything for me except for keep me in a low impact kind of mood. So I look at it like a low dose, a micro dose situation. that can really alleviate small bits of chronic pain as well as mental health situations. Our life, all of our lives, we have stress, and stress is triggers. Whether it's a big trigger or a small micro trigger, the reality is that if your body has the cannabinoids, the nutrients, the overall mental and physical health to be the best person you can be, and all your gas tank is filled, and you're going to be better served to battle with those triggers or the stressors of life. So Delta 8 THC for me, all it did was fill my gas tank up a little bit extra and not give me the head high, or not give my body that physical high that it really, really, it slows us down sometimes. THC does impact stuff of your body.
Sure.
It does. And depending on the person, it impacts motor skills. Depending on the other people, it impacts speech. It impacts your brain, how quickly, your anxiety, all that stuff. So to me, it was a low dose. It was a super duper micro dose.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it. It's something that I would definitely, test out in the future a little bit more. I don't know if I'd necessarily smoke it just because I live in a legal state, but I mess around with the edibles. Our next item of discussion is, we have a couple Spotify playlists out there. We plugged those a couple times on the podcast, but we partnered up with the Cure Company to present our California Fire playlist, getting updated weekly with a bunch of, slaps from California. There's some legends on there. There's some new cats, some stuff that's been sitting around for a minute, some brand new stuff. It's definitely a vibe. I've been putting that one on while working as the sun's coming up here in Seattle, just playing those Cali vibes. But super, super gracious to partner with the Cure Company on that.
We just added this in the last week with the Cali Fire. We added Roddy Ricch Late at Night, Pasadena by Tanash and Buddy, I Won by Ty Dolla $ign and Jack Harlow and 24K Golden, One Piece by Pac-Man the Gunman and Wale. For those who don't know who Pac-Man the Gunman is, that was someone that was real big in Nipsey's camp on the up and coming. And then Know Something by True Car and Draco the Ruler. So those are some of the ones we added recently in terms of the last 6-7 days. Burner and Coi Leray, YG and Mozzie's album, big on that one. Joey Fats, Bino Rideau, more Ty Dolla $ign, some Sweetie. We do have that Zero Tolerance song with Nipsey on it and Pac-Man the Gunman again. Also Mozzie's on that. We really fucking with Mozzie. But Mozzie's one of the rising artists of the year that everybody's sleeping on still. He ain't getting
a lot.
He's putting out a lot of music. There's a lot of good features. He's on a lot of other people. He's on a lot of big albums and projects. And honestly, the bars are improving. It's the same stories and more details and more current things. But I'm really impressed with his work. And then,
I said he's got a dope vibe.
Yeah, he's really, really killing. And right now he's on this mentorship phase. He's really putting on some game, And then we also updated. We updated the Low Key Fire playlist. So again, everybody watching this, you guys hop on Spotify right now and go smash the follow button on our profile, Respect My Region. Give us a search and then look at our playlist and be sure to follow Cali Fire, Low Key Fire, and Washington Fire. We also have High Key Bars and New Music Monday. We got 5 playlists that we're updating every single week, multiple times to give you guys the freshest music all day, every day. Now, on the Low Key Fire playlist, we did add a bunch of new music. So I'm going to try to go through this. First and foremost, New Russ. The New Russ, super fire. Money on Me goes hard. 100K, Babyface Gunna and Mozzie, super hard again. Voice of the Heroes, Lil Baby and Lil Durk. The Lils, absolutely killing it, bro. Yo Gotti just turned 40 years old. CMG, the label, just signed a massive partnership deal with Interscope Records, re-upping and kind of gaining more increase. We recently had CMG Breezy, one of their head A&Rs for CMG, the label. We recently had him on the podcast when he was here in LA. I'll check out that episode for sure. And that leads me to Drop featuring DaBaby and Yo Gotti. Flamers Flow, we added Meek Mill. That new drop from Meek Mill is actually pretty hard. Moneybagg Yo, arguably going to be the artist of the year. It's between him and Lil Durk right now as to who's really going to be the artist of 2021. Lil Baby was probably the artist of the year last year, in my opinion. After that, Colin's gonna laugh. Young Ma, bro, off the yak. You gotta go check out the Young Ma album. One of the hardest rappers in the game. Young Ma, don't sleep. Just because she raps at her own slower cadence and tempo, don't sleep. The bars are clowning. She literally tells you to suck her dick in a song. It's hard and it's clowning. I also got to take, and this is kind of cheesy, I got to take my hat off to Lil Baby, Lil Durk, and Travis Scott because that song "Hats Off" is super dope. A lot of that music, on that album with Lil Baby and Lil Durk is just super inspirational. To hear about where they come from, what they've been through, and what they're doing, and some of the moves they're making, it's super cool. I don't obviously relate to a lot of it for obvious reasons, but to learn more about their story and to be able to spread the message that these guys are killing it and that other people should follow in some of their paths and some of their footsteps, not every way, but some ways. It's huge and it's valuable. Russ gives a lot of game. Mozzie's giving game. Nipsey gave a lot of game. J. Cole gives a lot of game. Lil Baby and Lil Durk giving a lot of game right now. And the last song I'm going to mention, did you listen to the Blueface song where he rapped on beat?
I have not, but that.
Did you hear about it?
I'll give him, I'll give him the benefit of a listen. We'll see what it's.
All right. OG Bobby Billions featuring Blueface. The song is called Outside Better Days. It's a vibe song. You would never think Blueface is hopping on this, right? I'll fast forward through it. Singing. It's some hip hop shit.
That's
and then there's like, hold on. No, this is not Blueface. After this, though. You gotta hear it.
Pray for these baguettes, I pray for better days. I ain't pray for that new vet, I'd rather have my dogs back. Lord, protect me with this tech. I ain't pray for this protect. Remember the day I got the text.
It's on beat.
I mean, he's getting a little bit tighter.
Bro, I heard that, and I know it sounds cheesy, but my arm hair stood up when I first heard that because you got to think, if someone like Blueface can blow up the way that they did and get so much hate, but still overcome that and build such a powerful brand, no matter how ratchet or how crazy it is, right? He's going to have a career just as long as the game, especially if he can learn and grow and get better at producing music, at creating just quality music. And that right there, if he was good enough to go play college sports and good enough to show up and do some shit like that and then quit to do music, he can grow and get better over time. And I'm excited for Blueface to see, because that song has actual replay value and it's not just on some ratchet shit. It was on some, oh shit, I feel like I connected to Blueface on this song.
We'll see. You're hyping, the bar for him is set real low. So, I mean, he just got to jump a little bit.
The bar is set so low for so many rappers, and I was thoroughly impressed. Think about it like this. For years, he'd been playing a game of limbo, and the bar was already low for him, and he lost automatically. And for that exact song, he made it to the next level.
All right, I'll have to check it out. Yeah, I just updated the high key bars one. I'm not going to.
What'd you add?
I'm not gonna run through the songs, but I do. The first song on there right now is the new Lloyd Banks featuring Benny the Butcher record, which is Heat from Aldehyde off the new Lloyd Banks album, which I'm sour at Spotify. If you go to the hip hop genre, new releases, it's not on there. I don't know why you're hating on Lloyd Banks. I get he's a little bit older, but he's one of the best lyricists. He's in the conversation, the top 10, top 20 lyricists to ever be in hip hop, and hasn't dropped the album in a minute, just dropped the album and it's fire. He can't even get no love from Spotify. I'm vouching for Banks, man. That's cold-blooded.
Damn.
Anyways, that's on the high-key
Lloyd Banks, if you see this, we want you on the podcast, man. We think Mitch just said it. He thinks you're a top 20 lyricist all time.
I'm not the only one. You know, I mean, I don't want to run through my 20, but he's in the conversation. He's definitely valid in the conversation.
I'm not a person that ever gets to have that conversation because I don't have that long-term, long-standing history with hip hop like that. So I'm irrelevant.
Yeah, me and hip hop been hanging out for a while.
My opinion doesn't matter. I'm a super Nipsey fan. That's about it.
So next, I just want to get into, you know, we got the North American Weed Tour. We touched on that at the start. Cool campaign that we cooked up. That's a natural evolution of what we've been doing the last few years with the West Coast Weed Tour, where we traveled from Seattle to LA and back, you know, testing a bunch of products, reviewing dispensaries, checking out dispensaries, going to cultivation facilities, testing labs, manufacturing plants, packaging places, distribution, you know, oil, you know, concentrate labs.
We literally created a tour to showcase the cannabis culture and the cannabis industry on the West Coast, and we have expanded it to include the rest of North America, Canada, and the United States. We are connecting with 80 different companies for podcasts and Instagram live streams to showcase what their weed brands look like, what their culture is like, and to share what is going on in their state in the world of weed. And also in their province and in their region, because Canada does not have states. Right. So we are very excited. The North American Weed Tour is going to be the first of its kind. It is the only one in the world like this. We did research. We looked to see if other people were doing campaigns like this. You can travel. You can do podcasts. But we're not going to do it like us. We're going to do it different and big. And we got a lot of content. We got podcasts. We got Instagram live streams. We got newsletters. We got interviews. We got articles. I'm going to go physically visit places. I'm going to go do content outside of dispensaries. I'm going to go into labs and kitchens. We're going to watch people cook things, pour things, fill carts, fill tinctures. I'm going to show you guys how these freaking products are made that you guys are sucking down the terps.
Yeah, and you know, the last few years we've shown what cannabis looks like on the best coast, and you know, where the best cannabis is made, and now we're going to take a look at it across the country, and kind of be able to compare and contrast prices, how regulation goes, quality, what the people are saying, what the culture's saying. So just a really cool way to kind of connect the dots and take everyone on a trip around the northern hemisphere.
If you guys have any recommendations, drop in the comments, nominate some brands. Anybody that watches this, be sure, let us know.
Or festivals that are happening in some of these non-West Coast states. Let us know what's going on in Michigan. I think, you know, we're going out to Boston in the fall.
Oklahoma, Boston, Colorado. So Oklahoma, Colorado, Massachusetts, Illinois. We're gonna do Florida. We're going to do Texas. We're going to do Oregon, Washington, Cali, and I'll be in Vegas this week. We'll be in Vegas again in October, right? October or December, we're in Vegas.
And then next October is at BizCon.
October in Vegas, and then September we'll be at Hall of Flowers. There's a lot of stuff coming up, you guys. I hope you're ready. Respect My Region's hitting the road, the North American Weed Tour. We're flying. We're traveling. We're doing podcasts. Tune in. Don't miss out. And if you want to get involved,
we want to tap in with all the brands. Anybody that's doing not just making fire, the most quality, but people that are doing unique shit and people that have unique stories. You know, because we are firm believers. Although we smoke or have our preferences as personal consumers, we understand that this marketplace has a wide range of places for brands and products and demographics, and we want to meet and know all of them more than you won't think that we want to know. So we are down to meet with you, learn about what you got going on, and potentially come out and visit and showcase what you got going on.
Big facts. What we got next, Mitch?
Man, you know, that's about it. You know, I did say I kind of wanted to touch on just a topic leading off of the North American Weed Tour and these events. You know, I posted on LinkedIn and it blew up into kind of a bigger conversation, but I was kind of ranting on LinkedIn, which isn't necessarily the place to rant, but just about cannabis events and how there's a severe issue that I've seen, and this is in multiple markets, of people that throw cannabis events and the cannabis is an afterthought, right? Where I I understand not all events can have on-site consumption or open containers. I get that the LCB, the BCC, the various organizations have regulations and are very strict about some of that. But there's a lot of people that throw events where that can't happen. And then people that smoke in the parking lot or around the corner are shunned or are not given a safe space to make legal adult choices. And when that comes from the lack of foresight or the actual judgment from individuals in the community that are putting on or hosting these events, I just think it is incredibly disrespectful and disgusting and really has no place in this industry.
Let them know.
Because I don't think some events we can't have dab bars at. That's totally fine. Some events people can't be opening weed jars up inside. That's totally fine. But to set an environment and expect people to stay inside and drink cocktails or sit out in certain areas and smoke cigarettes and smoke cigars, but you're not allowing you pat people down and throw away their vape pens before they come inside, or we've both heard comments from people that throw events like, why is everybody outside? Why are they not inside this event? And it's a fucking weed event with 200 stoners. And the event's 4 hours long. At some point, the majority of those 200 people are going to spend outside, at least a quarter of that event. And so some of these people are just flabbergasted as to why that could be. And that's where it comes to the foresight of understanding this is the cannabis industry. Anything celebrating the cannabis industry or for the cannabis industry is going to involve cannabis, whether it's allowed, whether it's encouraged, whether it's promoted, it doesn't matter. So I don't know why.
It will happen regardless, somehow, some way.
Yeah, I mean, because all of us cannabis consumers pre-industry were doing the same things at every single concert we went to, at every single venue we went to, every time we went out on the town. So it's just a crazy thing to me, and I think it's the lack of disconnection that is not new. A lot of these people that host these events or B2B.
No, to counter though, right? It is disrespectful just to go to someone's house and just go smoke. Right? It is disrespectful just to pull up and assume that you can just be yourself 2,000% all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like we all had that homie that would just come over and be super loud in your house. You know what I'm saying? That's just going 100 miles an hour and breaks shit more often than other people, bumps into stuff, doesn't know how big or small they are, right? So I think there's some balance to that, and especially with me, I'm the smoker. I ain't going to something that I can't smoke at. And when I am at something that I know I'm like, where am I about to be smoking at? I'm already anxious about it. You know, like, how am I about to feel okay after I eat some of this food that's unhealthy or drink some of this beer that's available or soda that's provided? And there's just never enough water. You know what I mean? Give me some Gatorade too. No, never enough hydration.
It is true.
Always getting people fucked up and not focusing on the actual hydration. Like, man, get a weed brand to sponsor the water bar. You know,
and again,
give me some clean oxygen. Sponsor some clean air for my lungs so I can get higher off your product.
And I mean, it is a fine line. We can't expect the cannabis B2B event, right? That's going to be regulated by whatever, again, whether it's the OLCC, BCC, LCB, whatever.
Michigan CC, whatever it is.
It's going to be regulated. You can't have people in there just not even smoking, but sometimes you can't even legally have people rolling blunts in plain view. That's fine. Yeah. Us cannabis consumers, that is nothing new to us. But choose venues where we can safely step outside and do what we got to do. Don't berate us and judge us for doing what we got to go do. And for the love of God, I mean, we went to MJ BizCon and we went to one of the it parties of the fucking weekend. We wait in line for 45 minutes and we get patted down and we all had to throw away blunts we had rolled, flour, all of our vaporizers and our cartridge. I mean, we gave up $500 of cannabis products to get into a cannabis event. And we wouldn't have smoked the things in the event because it was inside a nightclub, but it was just like, how are you going to hold a cannabis event? And then that's your security detail. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. What is this? The fucking airport?
That out, you're getting thrown out of here, but keep that.
Yeah, it's the fucking airport. Like, you can't treat us like you're the goddamn federal government, Homeland Security, and the police all at the same time. Like, get out with that shit. Do some shit for the culture. Stop forcing us into events where we're put in a position just because of the sake you need your money. Like, how about people do a better business model that doesn't require forcing people to go to events that are poorly organized or that are just force fed because they think the market needs it. Like, no, you know what the market in these industries need? They need events that are put together better, more organized, tighter, crisper, with better value delivered. Internet, all Wi-Fi, power, not anymore this skating by. Not everything is about consumption either. The industry needs money to grow. They need customers to get educated, and they need safe spaces for the industry and the consumers to connect safely. These safe places to try the product and to be taught and to be learned and to be given a chance to learn beyond just YouTube and digital things. I was told that in some of the states you can't even use your cell phone inside of the dispensary to live stream. It's illegal to live stream. Like, what? And then in Canada, they can't, do stuff in the United States publications. Like, what are you talking about? You're telling me that that's how tight we are? That's how tight the government is choosing to be? This is just people making poor decisions at the end of the day. And I think people are certainly putting more effort into other priorities that may or may not be more or less not as important.
Yeah. Well,
More money would get spent in these companies and in this industry with better education and less marketing restrictions.
Yeah. And I think it's just, it rings true that people are going to make poor regulation or poor choices when it comes to cannabis. People are going to pass judgment but when they're people inside the industry, that's whack. We're trying to normalize this plant, and some of the same people that are trying to push, come drink beer and make deals, because that's what you do in business. Even if you go to a conference, everyone knows the real relationships are built going out afterwards, drinking or whatever. And so that's normalized. And so when we come to cannabis and throw events pushing that culture as it's normalized, but we fucking shun sharing the same product that we're all selling at said conference or event, that's a little fucking strange to me.
I always love getting the looks.
What we're pushing.
I love getting those looks when you're smoking the weed outside. I love getting the looks when you're smoking the weed outside, and you're one of the first 3 or 4 people to go do it. It's like, you guys are all adults. Why is there this pressure to feel weird to go outside and do what you normally would do? It's like at any concert, you would just do it. You'd look around and then you'd do it.
Yeah. It's corny. I guess it's something that we've talked about, but it's whatever. But I posted on LinkedIn. Apparently, it's an issue that a lot of people see in a lot of different states. So I think it's just, I understand regulation, and I think there's some of that component to it and professionalism in certain situations. But I think ultimately it comes down to the age-old issue that there is a lot of people in this space that are not here for any other intention to make money, and that's fine. But don't. You know what I mean? You can't also pass judgment or be
ain't about to do it at the expense of me either. The people, the community, we identify that shit too quick. You can't.
Yeah, don't be in here being a culture vulture. Basically, I don't think anyone wants that in any space. So, I mean, that's about all the topics that I got for tonight. I don't want to rant on that too much. I don't know what you got, man. North American Weed Tour.
Shout out, everybody's tune in. Tap in. We got hundreds of reviews coming up. We got tours and showcases and interviews coming with 80 companies from around the North American cannabis community. We're going to be showcasing the East Coast, the West Coast, Canada, the United States, the South, the Midwest, everywhere. We're going to be getting all 25 states and all the regions in North America. And then next year we'll be expanding upon this to the international weed tour, which is super exciting, because then we'll get Spain and Amsterdam and all these other states that are involved. We will start reaching out and working with them to get the culture showcase in all these other areas. Our goal, everybody, is that any country you travel to, any state you go to, you will be able to count on us for a reliable recommendation for craft cannabis, commercial affordable cannabis, indoor quality edibles, flowers. We want to be able to showcase brands that really give you guys trusted recommendations. This is for the patients. This is for the real customers, the real connoisseurs. North American Weed Tour, man. Let's get it.
RMR Podcast. We're out of here.
Woohoo! Love you.